Hi, welcome to a video made by a blind person. Yeah, too blind to care what the visuals look like. Hi everyone, and Happy New Year. So I have been talking about doing a year in review type video for how long, and I've not really done anything with it because I guess I haven't really known how to do it, and then I put it off. And at the rate I'm going, it might not get done, so I figure I might as well just at least do something, and maybe if I do enough little somethings, it'll end up adding up to a video. This is not the way to do YouTube. Just wing it. But I guess I'd rather wing it and put something up than wait for big plans to happen and the plans don't come together in my mind or whatever, and then nothing ever gets done. So I was watching somebody else's video. She did at least one last video for 2018, and she had made a vision board. I did too, not really knowing, not necessarily having a whole lot of big goals, or I had a handful. I had 7. It looks like 8, but I think I added this last one after the fact. Because it was into 2018 when this became even a possibility, and I jotted it down as a goal. So I don't know if I'm going to read all these out loud. I don't know if this is even what a vision board is, but I wrote it in Braille. I created basically these boxes. I did straight line, goal, or notes, or whatever. Straight line, another piece of note, straight line, another piece of note. And so basically one had to do with taking a day out every week to just, at least a day out every week, to just have this day for myself. And although it's not a formal thing that I do anymore, although I'm not doing it in a definite routine anymore, I still do that. Another was debt-free life. If you must owe someone, I put the name of someone who, the point is, if you must owe money to somebody, make it one of your family members instead of a credit card company or a bank or whatever. Well, as it is, I am debt-free in the sense that I don't have a credit card. I actually don't even owe the one family member. There's a couple of bills that need to get taken care of, but compared to where I was this time last year, where I was out of debt but I owed my aunt a buttload of money, I'm in pretty good shape. The next thing I wrote was, if only getting closer and closer to success on YouTube. I'm doing the best I can. I'm not even gonna try to measure it. Actually, my whole attitude about YouTube success and what that means has kind of changed. I'm still not sure what YouTube success means. I thought YouTube success meant monetization, and maybe it still does, but I'm not sure monetization is everything I've cracked it up to be. For one thing, YouTube monetization through AdSense apparently is like pennies on 1,000 watches or something. Or 1 penny for every 1,000 watches. 1,000 watches, I don't know if I get 1,000 people watching my channel a year, let alone however many hundreds of thousands you would have to take to get any decent amount of money through monetization if I could monetize. So success on YouTube might not mean monetization. So I'm continuing YouTube. I may put that back on the vision board for 2019. I haven't even done a vision board for 2019, and it's 3 days away from the new year, so I don't know. It's 3 days away from the new year as I record this. It might be New Year's Eve or even New Year's Day when you watch it. So I don't know. I don't know if there's going to be a vision board for 2019 or not. This is one I didn't reach, and I don't know when I'm going to reach it, but if I put together another vision board for 2019, I'll probably put it on there, because maybe if I put it on enough vision boards and want it for long enough and really am able to save up for it for long enough, it can actually happen. Soft, warm, close, fur, love, cuddles. In other words, get another kitty. I lost mine in 2015, and stuffed animals have their place, but if you have any kind of pet that you love, you know what I'm talking about. There's no thing that has stuffing all up in it that can take the place of a warm, breathing, living, little heart-beating, cuddly animal that is snuggly and warm and kissable and alive. You know, the warmth that you get from a dog or a cat comes from a body temp of 90-something degrees, 100-something degrees, which a normal baseline temp for a cat is probably a little bit higher than even ours. And our average normal baseline temp is 98.6, so. But that cuddly, loving, sweet animal that can breathe, there's no replacement. But the reason I didn't make that happen, or at least one reason why I didn't make that happen, is because for the same reason that a lot of things don't happen, money. And that's something that I want to... I can't even remember how many years I've been going into the new year saying I want to make more money, or I want to have more money, or I want to somehow create a situation where there's more money. I'm going to go about that maybe a little differently this time. I don't know how much of that I want to talk about on here, but I'm working on it. The next goal was gainful employment at a hands-on job. It's out there, I wrote. Yes, it is out there, and in fact, at the end of this vision board, probably in February of 2018, I wrote an additional one down here. I wrote my permanent job. What just got bleeped out was the name of the company where I now work. But I did not know up toward the end of 2017 that job existed. So at first I wrote gainful employment at a hands-on job. It's out there. And when that internship started at my current workplace, I had a little room on the vision board and I jotted down my permanent job. And my permanent job did in fact happen, and I'm going back into it on Monday because I wasn't in the frame of mind to give myself a week or 10 days off on the holidays. Next year, on the other hand, might be a different story, because this is the best job I think I've ever had, not just because it's 20 hours a week, not just because it's hands-on, which is exactly what I wanted. I don't think I've ever had a job before where I had benefits. The best benefit I had was minimum wage. Now I've got not only the regular income, we actually have a paid time off and holiday policy. We have time that we can take off and accumulate. And I mean, I've got like 2 weeks worth thrown over to next year that didn't get used this year, even with the oral surgery. And a week this summer for this convention that I'm believing that I'm going to be able to go to, and like a week or 10 days on the holiday. Well, 10 days, I say 10 days, I'm not sure I really even mean 10 days, 4 days a week. Anyway, the point is, barring any unexpected things coming up, I'll probably have it. And I mean, what does self-love look like? It's okay if it looks like, okay, I got 20 personal days or paid time off days or vacation days or whatever you want to call it saved up. Let me take 10 or 15 of them here throughout the year. So where am I here? It's out there. Okay. The next thing I had, that's just kind of a hobby thing. I'm not going to go into the details of that, but I mean, I don't know how much I did it. And basically, this last one is something that I wanted to save money for, and what I had in mind when I set that goal did not get accomplished. Maybe I'll put that on on this year's vision board. Of course, when I say this year, I mean 2019. That's the vision board segment of this, and I don't know if there's going to be other segments or if this is going to be the whole video. I should probably edit this and find out how long it is and see what kind of time I have to put anything else on, given the fact that I have a 30-minute time limit on my videos. Who says? Tunes the Tube says. As I mentioned in another video once, I use Tunes the Tube. I don't use a camera all that often. It's not about what you see on my channel, it's about what you hear. That's what happens with blind people. They really don't know or appreciate what something looks like. The sound is what matters to them. So I use an MP3 recorder to create these videos, so-called videos. What I do is I upload the picture and the MP3 file to Tunes2Tube, and they will make it a YouTube video. Well, if the audio file is bigger than 50 meg, which translates to about 30 minutes, it will refuse to work with it. It says it can't handle a file that big. So I have to either keep it to under 30 minutes or plan on cutting it off at the 30-minute mark, 30-minute mark, and making a part 2 out of it. So how much time is left to add to this video? Well, that came to 12 minutes, so I've got 18 more minutes before I have to call it the end. Okay, I am at Applebee's, and I have been a customer of this Applebee's on and off for, oh my god, at least 10 years, at least. I mean, I've been in this area for 11 or 12 years, and this Applebee's has been here the whole time. This particular Applebee's is shutting down. Tonight's actually their last night. I found out last week. I couldn't believe it. I found out straight from the manager, so it's not a crazy-ass rumor. She's seen me a few times. She's talked to me, and she came to me last week. She said, I'm so glad you came in. I've got some bad news. We're closing. I'm like, you're kidding. She's like, no. So here I am having my last Applebee's dinner. I'm going to find another place. I'm still going to go out and eat, take myself out to dinner. I just won't be doing it at Applebee's anymore. Because the nearest Applebee's, now that they're closing this one down, is all the way clear out. It's closer to where I work than where I live. I suppose I could, if I wanted to, drop by on my way home from work one of these times. But I don't think it's right on the way either. Okay, wait a minute. I'm trying to vlog and read the menu at the same time. I'm failing miserably. I'm really gonna miss this. My kind of go-to place that had been my go-to place for a long time. I went there on this Saturday night, and they were crowded as hell. There was no indoor seating to speak of.
Our final night here. How are we doing? Yeah, let's close it down now.
It was crowded as hell. There was no indoor seating to speak of. And I ate outside, not my favorite thing to do. I made it work out that night, but I was like, okay. If it's going to be that crowded, because she was thinking that it was going to be pretty crowded for like weeks or months on end, I'm like, screw this, and I'm going to find somewhere else to eat. And then Applebee's became my kind of my new go-to. I mean, I come here pretty frequently anyway, but after that it became just my like weekly place. And now I've lost that. I can only hope that Denny's is just as good. I know you can get steak dinners at Denny's. Unfortunately, that's what I was saying. The other place, I mean, I'm going to give them another chance. I'll probably be there New Year's Eve. But I won't be getting a steak dinner because they don't serve those. I wish they did, but since they don't, it'll be on to Denny's. Since I'm not going to be able to come to this place anymore, and I'm not making a weekly tradition out of taking a potentially hour-long, one-way door-to-door transit trip clear out to the area of my workplace just to go to my old favorite Applebee's. I liked it, but I'm not that loyal to it. If the closest place isn't close enough, I'll find a place that's close. I'll miss it though. What are they going to do with this building, I wonder? What are they going to turn it into? See, now this I'm really going to miss. It's piping hot, so I don't dare try to eat it right now, but spinach artichoke dip. This video is not sponsored by Applebee's, but if you have an Applebee's near you and you want to try their spinach artichoke dip, I really like it. So did Bee Rochele and her boyfriend. Maybe I'll link that video down below, but really it was watching her mukbang where she and her man were eating these that I was like, okay, you know what, let me try this. Until then, I either didn't know about it, or if I did, I was like, yeah, chips and dip, so what? Well, I tried it and I realized how much I liked it, and now I'm really gonna miss. This is part of the reason why I'm really gonna miss this place. I mean, you can get nachos or tortilla chips just about anywhere, but this spinach artichoke dip, you can't just go to Fred Meyer or Kroger or Aldi's or Costco or fill in the blank with whatever store you happen to buy stuff at and pick that up, I don't think. I hope I have time and things to end this video on a different note than this. The closure of this Applebee's. That's a really sad note to end the year on. Hopefully I'll at least have a little bit of time left to say something between now and New Year's Eve or whatever. So this whole video doesn't have to end on the sad note of the death of this particular Applebee's. Oh, update on this silly tooth. In case you don't know what I'm talking about, I have a tooth that when I was a kid I broke, and I've been dealing with it for 30 years. Well, in August it split off again, and I went to the dentist hoping she could just glue it back on or do whatever they do. Dental industrial strength glue it back on. Doc says, it's a little more complicated than that. There's been another break. After 30 years of this, it's just gotten weaker and weaker, and there's nothing left to glue onto. So I had to have it extracted and implanted. There's a fake nerve, I don't know, an implant. Look up dental implants. I can't really explain it right now, but it was oral surgery. I took a day off work for it, and I have lived with this fake nerve and no crown on this tooth, meaning there's a hole in my teeth. Like, I have no tooth here.
Oh, okay.
I'm using my other teeth to bite into these chips. And anything else that I want to eat, for that matter. So, on the 20th of December, I went to the oral surgeon, and
Have a good night. Thank you, you guys.
and he said, "You're good to go. You are cleared by me to go back to your dentist and actually get this thing crowned." I'm like, "Thank you. That is what I've been waiting to hear." Except the next thing I did, of course, was call my dentist. Well, I couldn't get anyone to answer the phone. The receptionist was either busy or they were closed already, or I don't know. I didn't realize they closed at 2 o'clock, but anyway, the first thing I want to do at the start of the year is to set things up to get this thing moving forward now that my oral surgeon has allowed me to move forward. Let's move forward, Artie, and get this damn thing back. I'm ready to get this tooth back. I've missed it. Goodbye, Applebee's. I'm gonna miss you. Okay, that was way too serious of a note to end this video on. Unfortunately, I have like 7 minutes or so before I have to really close the book on this video. And I tend to be I'm working on this, but I tend to be a glasses half empty kind of person anyway. Which might be part of the reason why my channel is not growing. I mean, YouTube growth might be the kind of thing you kind of have to put into perspective anyway, and I'm not sure what success on YouTube means anymore. I talked about that earlier. But part of the reason why I may not be getting a whole lot of subscribers is who wants to watch videos that are constantly negative? Having said that, I also, if you watch videos about how to be a vlogger, one thing you hear is be yourself. Don't try to be this YouTube persona that isn't the real you. And I mean, like I said, I'm working on it, but the real me isn't always positive. And I think I have maybe become at least a little more positive in the 14 years post. 14 years ago when I first came here, I was way less positive than I am now. But I'm still not exactly overflowing with positivity, and it's easy to be negative. But who wants to end the year on a negative note? And who wants to end the last video of the year on a negative note? And that's kind of what we're doing here as it is right now. The last thing you saw was a funeral procession of what used to be one of, if not my definite favorite restaurants. Maybe not the whole chain, but my local restaurant. Now the closest one to me is 20 minutes away. Rest in peace, local Applebee's. But we're not ending the video on that note. We're ending it on what are some of the good things that have happened this year. Well, first of all, probably the best thing that happened this year was I got my dream job. It was around this time last year that I finally figured out what my dream job was. For so long, I had been trying to find what was going to make me the most money or where my talents were. But finally, I was like, you know what? The job I've got going now, this 2-hour-a-week job, you can't do anything on 2 hours a week, but that's the kind of job I want, doing hands-on stuff. Who's going to hire me to do a decent amount of work doing that? And by a decent amount of work, I mean 20 to 30 hours a week, which is what I wanted. I didn't want the exhausting 40-hour-a-week schedule, 9 to 5. I never wanted that. 20 to 30 hours was good for me at that point. Now that I've got 20 hours, the truth is, it's perfect for me. I was like, how am I ever going to find a job that's 20 to 30 hours doing that and making me a decent amount of money? And we found it. That was probably the best thing that happened to me this year. Another thing that happened, I was just thinking about this. I found out how to go into my TV provider app and switch the soundtrack so you get audio description. Audio description, which some people call it video description, if you have your TV set to a certain soundtrack and if it is provided on the particular show you're trying to watch, you can get a voice separate from the voices of any of the other people on the show that are describing what happens. You're watching a movie or a TV show and you have the background music to set the scene. You know something's going on, you know someone's doing something, but it's completely silent. And their reaction or their dialogue doesn't happen for 30 seconds. As a blind person, you have no idea what's going on. Enter audio description or video description, someone describing what's going on, and then you can follow it a lot better. Now, unfortunately, not everything is audio described, but some things are audio described. And sometimes on the Comcast TV Go app, they will play an audio described episode. And then you'll go to the local channel on the TV, and you will have your TV set to audio description, and the same episode will air, and there will not be a word of audio description. Why that is, I don't know. I wish they would carry it on the TV as well. But sometimes they carry it on the TV and on the TV Go app. I guess it depends on what it is you're watching and what, for whatever reason, they decide to play. Anyway, at this time last year, I did not know that you could go into the TV Go app and manipulate the app into playing audio described content. I thought if it wasn't available on the TV, it's not available in the app. And sometimes that's still true, but sometimes it's not. Finding my dream job, finding out how to get my TV app to do what I want it to do. Is there anything else? Ira, I didn't discover Ira this year, I discovered it last year. But this year, I got a new job, and the first thing I did was to call Ira and say, I had to leave you guys for financial reasons several months ago. I miss you. I can afford you now. I'm resubscribing. I mean, if push came to shove, I'm not quite sure what I'd be willing to give up, but Ira is not one of them. If I must, I suppose I could reduce Ira, but I refuse to get rid of it altogether. It's just way too useful. Okay, I am seriously going to run out of time for this video. Thank you for watching, and Happy New Year. Check out Ira if you're blind or visually impaired. Sign the Do Not Demonetize petition if it makes you as angry as it makes me that you could publish all the YouTube videos in the world, but without a YouTube celebrity status, you cannot monetize your videos. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.